What's up guys, it's Super Chase here. Today I'm bringing you my premium Aqua Tetra Drive deck. I'm super excited to show you guys this list. The play style is just unbelievable. I'm really excited to get into this profile. Let's waste no time. Let's get into it. For our starter, we run one Blue Wave Recruit Coastie. It's a Blue Wave name, so we run it. Pretty much that simple. For our grade 3 line, I run 4 copies of Tetra Drive Dragon and 2 copies of Marine General of White Waves Phlogidos. They just complement each other really well. This does everything for us. This is just, so basically we always want to ride it on Tetra Drive. So every other grade 3 in this deck is irrelevant. So this grade 3 just does exactly what we want it to. We call it to rear, and it gives our Vanguard 15k at the end of the turn once it attacks 3 times, which it can easily do, and it also gives him 15k. So it's just free money, 27k, free money on the house. We run it. It's great. I really like this grade 3 line. You only run 6 too, which makes more room for our grade 2s, which our grade 2s and our grade 1s are really, really incredible. Mainly because this card too. This card really does a lot for the deck. He basically gets 15k on every turn because you can use him right. He's usually your last attacker, one of your last attackers if you have multiple of him. And then you can put him in your soul. He basically has an inlet pulse effect too, where you just put him in the soul and draw a card. Yeah. Coral Assault is crazy. I run 3 copies of Cuteria as well. It's a great card because you want to ride this as Vanguard turn 2 because you want to draw off it for a single Soul Blast, and you can also give 5k for that effect as well. So she's a really great Vanguard target because everything else is really, mainly meant to be called on the rear, specifically like Tidal Assault. I run 2 of the original and 1 of the V version because sometimes you like getting them both off, and for a single Soul Blast you can like get another Tidal Assault, so I don't think it's that bad. It's actually, I love this line. I think it's perfect. And I run 2 Terrific Coil. I used to like run this card at 4, and it's great. It's one of the best cards in the entire deck. But since it only works as like the first attack of the turn, I've cut it down to 2. It's an amazing number because you still see it. It's really, really easy to see it too. It was just an incredible card. Attack, Soul Blast 1 if it's the first. You restand it, and it gains 5k. Love calling this on an Axle too. Really good, and kind of an oppressive, annoying card that your opponent always has to deal with every turn. And I run 2 of, and this is just a Blue Wave name, Restander as well. He has kind of a restrictive effect with a 3rd time only, but you can get him off pretty easily. You just have to time your attacks right. But Blue Wave name, so he's searchable due to cards that are amazing, like this card right here, Corvette, Blue Wave Soldier. Senior Corvette, just amazing card right here. He does everything. He's our, what's the card in Shadow Paladin that does the same thing? Shoot, I'm totally blanking on its name. Yeah, I straight up can't remember, but Revenders do have a card that does the exact same thing. It's basically when it boosts or its attack hits, you could check top 3 and grab 1 Blue Wave card. It's a free plus, and kind of like the cherry on top is that it gets 5k if you have a Blue Wave card. And like, look, this card gets a lot of value. And the cherry on top of all the just the free plus is that it's 13k is usually live as well, which is really, really solid. It's great for just hitting over, difficult numbers. Moving on to another grade 1, this is our grade 3 searcher. So it also ensures that we see Tetra Drive because we run 4 of them. Like that on top of Corvette early game, you want to be calling these out early game. You definitely are going to see your grade 3s. That's why I have no issue running the 4 Tetra Drives and 2 other grade 3s. I've never had an issue with it. I run 2 Blue Wave Propulsion Dragons. This card is nuts just for combo. Basically, you can call him on an Axle 1, you swing with him, you counterblast, you switch its position with somebody else, you can restand him if it's moved to the back row, and you throw something else out. So you have so many cards you don't even have enough circles, you call him, because sometimes you'll try to be making 12, 13, 14 attacks on a turn. Very realistic, mainly due to cards like this and cards like Tidal Assault and other shit like that in the deck. But for the last grade 1, I run Blue Wave Soldier Bright Shooter. This card is really, really freaking good. Basically, when he boosts, if you have a Vanguard with Blue Wave in his card name, it's like the 4th battle or more, you can just grab a grade 3 from your drop and put it into your hand. Really, really good card. Definitely when you proc it. Sometimes I'll even go into certain Blue Wave strides or stay on a Tetra Drive just so I can proc this guy because he's so good. And he ensures another circle next turn. He can get all your shit back. He can get your heal triggers back. Phenomenal card. And finishing up the grade 1 line, I don't know why I just shuffled everything back. I almost forgot about him. Is Light Signals Penguin Soldier. Just kind of a combo piece card. I just wasn't running him for the longest time. Threw him in the deck, and I really like the addition. Especially when you're running cards like Genbold, certain cards like that when you're just resting. Great card. Great card. Definitely like the one of on that. Moving on to the trigger lineup, I run 4 crits. This is the Blue Wave crit that can put itself back in the deck. I run 3 bumper shooters, the Stride Fodder. I run 4 Pascal, one of my favorite PGs in all the game. I just think it's just like the art is just God tier. And lastly, I run 4 of the Heal Guards, grade 3 heals, and an over trigger. Specifically this one because you can give it 2, and in a deck like this, it is just so good because we restand our rear guards. Moving on to the Stride deck, before I do, here are my markets. I put them in these cool little sleek sleeves. I do really fuck with it. The part about this G-Zone that I love is you can literally go into any play style of Aqua Force ever. It is so cool. It is one of my favorite things about the deck. I'll show you. It It's pretty incredible. So first off, we run Alexandros, 3 of them, because he gets better as you flip units up, because all you do is counterblast, choose a card, flip it, restand 2, and they get 5k for each face-up card in your G-zone. So it only gets better with time. It's a 1 counterblast, doesn't have a ton of conditions. It's great. So this is your big restander, massive columns. Restanding coral assaults with like plus 45k, plus 50k on top of their already 24, 29, 35k body. It's nuts. It makes incredibly hard columns to guard. People are like, what the fuck? I didn't even know this deck could do this. This card is unbelievable. This card can restand the whole board. He gets you a marker, so he's good early game. He's good later game because you can immediately restand at least 1 unit. You get a marker, so you draw. It's good. And you can also move a unit, give it 10k as well to the new marker, presumably, that you just made. Furious Charge Dragon, Fury Argus. Yeah, this is a great card. People are completely overlooking this. This is one of my favorite cards in the entire G-Zone now. I go into it a ton. It's an amazing early game stride too. You usually go into Genbold first though. You go into Genbold first, then you can do basically everything else because Genbold just gives you so much plus. Valious Revive, amazing card. So this is the kind of, if you have a massive board or just a board that can just restand a couple times with like some small annoying ass effects, like you have your Terrific Coil setup, you have your Tidal Assault setup, you have your Coral Assault setup. This card is amazing because you go into him and you basically can lock your opponent's Vanguard at 11k, and it cannot be changed by triggers, any of that shit. So really good for just ensuring that your turn is going to be super strong and that you can't lose to defensive triggers. Also, when they're at like 3, 4 damage, this card's really good because if they're at 5, they're going to be guarding everything. If they're at 4, they're going to want to take, damage to see defensive triggers potentially. However, this ensures that you are safe to go. You are good to go because you're running Valious Revive. Wouldn't be a Tetra Drive premium deck if I didn't run Hell Hazard Dragon. This is our Vanguard restanding stride. Like I said, check this G-Zone out so far. You have the Lock Vanguard, you have the Axle Generation restanding board, you have the massive column restanding boards, you have the restanding Vanguard stride. This is what I'm saying about how this deck can have so many different like win cons, abilities to win. It's so aggressive, and the offense in this deck is so cool. This deck is the epitome of somebody like of being like, a good defense is a better offense. Anyways, our first stride of the deck, we basically always go into him on your first drive, is Genbold. Genbold's just an amazing card. You usually just draw so much off him your next turn. You just have enough to go into your crazy Aqua Force next turn, go and call, 5, 6, 7 units and just go to town. So this card sets you up for turn 4. Amazing card. You definitely have to run at least one of them in the deck. I've, considered running another one, but I don't see the real use because people that go into Genbold past turn 4 are weird like that. Trust me, take my word on it. If you are going into Genbold like on your second stride, like what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like you deserve to lose. But he just sets you up for everything. So great card, mandatory 1 of. You could definitely run 2 though. I can see the argument being made there. This is a great G-Guard, gives resist to our units. Yeah, really good card. Needs to run at least a couple of these in the deck, just because if you run a deck that retires, you don't want to just auto lose. This card is amazing too. Galphelia, you can flip it over, it countercharges for you. We flip a lot of shit in this deck. If you couldn't already tell, we flip a lot of shit. We always usually flip Galphelia. This G-Zone line, I really am comfortable with. Galphelia has so much usage, and this G-Guard is just super practical. Hannes, I think her name is. Anyways, more offense is a better defense. That is what this guy believes in. Furious Charging Dragon, Fury Argus. Let me know what you guys think of them in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Super Chase, I'm out. Peace.